Thank you very much for joining us. So our very first story now, and the Ghana Police Service has begun this year's Operation Father Christmas. Now they are going through town, checking and raising awareness about their intensified crime combat activities. Well, joining us, Latif Idris has been interacting with some commuters on what they think about the intensified police activities.
The fact that we're going to have more visibility of the police.
In fact, the police visibility there since its inception, it has been of good to all the citizens. It's very good, and with their presence during these Christmas festivities, we think it's going to help a lot.
So what do you make of this exercise, Father Xmas, by the police service?
I think it's good. It's good, and we all have to get involved so that it will be very good to us.
You mentioned police visibility. How secure do you feel now that you have more police officers in your neighborhood?
We feel secure because you know that even if you are from somewhere late in the evening and you are coming home, you see the police people around. Yes, so that they may curb any armed robbery or any bad people who may try to harm you or do something bad to you.
Oh, I think it is okay for us because this time, you know, if it gets to Christmas, there will be robbing, rushing, and those things. So if the police are around, they can help us to feel secure wherever we go. I think it is okay. If only they will keep on doing it, and not for the only Christmas, but after Christmas they'll continue doing it. It will help us as.
Right. How about road accidents as well?
Road accidents, I think, for them being around too, it will help. So that, let me say, if somebody is driving harshly or something, if they are if they are around, if they see the policemen around, they will calm down a little for us. So that one will be okay. Yeah.
Well, Latif Idris also interacted with the leader of the operation, DCOP Christian Tete Yohonu.
Deploying enough, we are withdrawing all, office staff and other personnel. We are making sure that we put in as many people for the sake of, those up there, those with criminal intent will not tell you are anonymous, but we'll make sure that we have enough men that will be on the street, that will be at the various intersections, and those who will be at the visibility, and those who will also do the night patrols and the day patrols, those who will be on the motorbikes to counter any motorbike crime, and intelligence men will also be on the field to make sure that we combat crime throughout this period. So all that we are saying is that people should take care of their own personal safety. You see, you don't talk about money issues just anyhow, just because you feel you trust anybody, you trust your house help, you trust your driver, because you should know that they are the people who are envious about what you have. They know whatever you have is not for them, but it is for you and your family. So they are there only to take something out of it. And so for that matter, when they are not satisfied with whatever you provide them, they plan evil against you. There's always an insider to any major criminal action that takes place. So all that we are saying is that personal safety is very important. Don't be talking about money issues in public, and that when you are going in for money in the financial institution, in the banks, go to the nearest police station and then inform the police for assistance. We are going to provide free services to anybody that is going to withdraw large sum of money to give it to their workers or to use it for any business transaction. We advise that we are going to cover all the major markets. People will come in there to be buying things, to be sent to the hinterland for purchase. We'll make sure that before any criminal activities will occur, the police are always there.
Let's stay with security. And on Monday, some residents of Amanfro in the Greater Accra region were attacked by armed robbers. Joining us, Latif Idris has been finding out some answers from the Greater Accra Regional Police Commander DCOP Christian Tete Yohonu.
Amanfro has become like a safe haven for criminals. Always, even though you've still put in place this station, they still want to continue with their nefarious activities in the area. Is there any reason?
I don't think it is so. You can follow up the trend from the time we started operation there and see whether there's that continuous operation, there's a continuous crime even being committed. I've never heard of this. It is maybe one or two isolated incidents that may occur, but I tell you that Amanfro is relatively calm.
Well, in a related development, the Ashanti Regional Police Command has also launched its Operation Father Christmas. Love FM's Prince Apia has more on that.
The police have deployed over 700 police persons. The Ashanti Regional Command, led by DCOP Kofi Boakye, this morning have been moving through the principal streets of Kumasi, specifically some of the crime-prone areas, affordable housing, as well as the Safo. Currently, the group is around Swami Magazine. Basically to tell the people of Kumasi that the police still here, their presence is very huge here, and anybody who has plans of perpetrating any criminal activities should desist from it as we enter into Christmas. And again, people who are just speaking to the media stated clearly that they are not going to give space to any criminal. And so if you're any criminal here in Ashanti region, as we enter into the Christmas, you should be very careful. We also gave a word of caution to the public, asking them to be very vigilant and not walk in obscure places at night, and ensure that they keep themselves very safely during this Christmas. I should say that the police this morning have been showcasing most of their weapons and ammunition that we don't normally see around in vehicles through the principal streets, giving the emphasis, telling everybody who is seeing that they are here and they are ready to combat crime in Ashanti region. What he tells us is that this Christmas the police are going to intensify their patrols. So there's going to be the usual stop and search. They're going to intensify that. The patrols are going to be increased at various vantage places, especially the areas that I stated, affordable housing, Sawaba, Abuabo, and those areas where crimes are always high there. So they're going to increase their presence, and then of course they're going to ensure that criminals are going to be found wanting.
Sure.
If you try and perpetrate crime.
Right. Ashanti Regional Police Commander DCOP Nathan Kofi Boakye explains some mechanisms the command is putting in place to combat crime in partnership with some volunteers.
As I'm talking with you now, we have a lot of CID men around Kenetia and on the terminals, so that we make sure that there will not be pickpocketing. People come and trade and go without any problem. In the unlikely event that something happens, then we need the public. That's why I'm saying that on the highways, now we have 4 volunteers. In the unlikely event that there's a highway robbery, then we all move to the bush and look for the people by any means necessary. Police is available and able to help them to live in comfort. I tell you to send a clear message to the criminals that we are ready, we are able, we are capable, that this Christmas, whatever happens, is Motamo and no Bagawa.
Government has directed the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to investigate former Deputy Energy Minister K.T. Hammond for his role in the sale of a drill ship to pay off a judgment debt. Now, the recommendation is contained in a government white paper on the judgment debt report prepared by the Judgment Debt Commission. Government wants Kobna Tahir Hammond to explain how he disbursed about $900,000 balance resulting from the sale of the ship. Joseph Opoku has been going through the documents.
It looks like somebody was not listening. Somebody was not interested. Somebody was sitting out there just simply to make a case. against Katie Hammond.
They started sitting, as in the Judgment Debt Commission, back in 2010. That's when the president first inaugurated this commission. They had a 1-year duration to sit. They sought for extension. They ran for 2.5 years. Eventually, then they submitted the report to President Mills. That's about 6 months ago. President Mahama, I mean. And so, among others, in terms of the recommendations that were made, have to do with the issue with the drill ship. And let's just go through that briefly. You would recall that the GNPC entered into this contract with the SG Bank, and then things went bad. Eventually, they sued government in a London court. They got a judgment debt to the tune of $47 million US. As at the time that was given, according to government, they had agreed on a negotiated settlement of $14 million US. And the governments that had taken over, the NPP, had not gone to the court to indicate this to them, which was how come they went ahead with the default judgment. That's according to the findings of the commission. And so eventually, Katie Hammond, who was then the deputy minister, was sent by President Kufuor, and these are the details in the commission's report, to go negotiate a settlement. And instead of the $47 million US, government agreed to pay $19.5 million US. And so a decision was taken to sell the drill ship, the Discoverer 511, to defray the debt, and it was sold for $24 million. And so when $19.5 million was used to settle the debt, there was the rest of the amount, which was $3.5 million US, which, according to the commission's report, government, or for that matter, the NPP government then has not fully accounted for how it spends that amount. And so they made a number of recommendations with regards to that particular amount. Let me run through them briefly. Government says that it's accepted the recommendation of the commission that the Minister of Finance and officials of the Controller and Accountant General's Department question the officials at the Ghana London, the Ghana High Commission in London at the time, so that then they render proper accounts. Those who were there between 2001 and 2006. First of all, they should render proper accounts on how the $3.5 million US was spent. Secondly, they had to explain how an amount of $141,000 that was paid into a Ghana International Bank account was also spent, and they also asking them to explain how another amount of $1.5 million US was also spent. And finally, the bit having to do with Katie Hammond. Government is agreeing, or for that matter, accepting the recommendation of the Judgment Debt Commission that Katie Hammond, Katie Hammond ensures that the law firm which assisted in the sale of the ship, one law firm known as Constant and Constant, how they disbursed an amount of $900,000 US that was paid into an escrow account in London, which was supposed to cater for future debts of the GNPC to creditors. It's a little messy there. So the directive is that Yoko should undertake investigations on the mandate, the authority, and the basis on which Katie Hammond ordered for the disbursement of the said $900,000 US that was paid to the law firm to cater for future debts of the GNPC.
But in response, the Member of Parliament for Adansia Sokwa, Katie Hammond, has accused government of refusing to confront the principal actors at GNPC, leading to the $47 million judgment debt awarded to Societe Generale. He said former CEO of GNPC, Chacho Chikata, was responsible for creating this huge debt, which the NPP government managed to slash to $14 million. You're speaking to my colleague, Evans Mensah, on Newsnight.
It looks like somebody was not listening. Somebody was not interested. Somebody was sitting out there just simply to make a case against Katie Hammond, the MPP Kufuor's administration. It's simple as that. Because I thought that, that was basic. That was the list and whatever was basic. I would have thought that the report would be talking about Mr. Chikata, how the $47 million indebtedness to the people of Ghana came about. I thought that was what we'll be dealing with. And not the fact that, we made sure that those guys were paid the bank. Look, the list of institutions and companies who were owed by GNPC, you have no idea. Mr. Justice Apo, sitting at the High Court in 2001, had the occasion to order that GNPC pay Consolidated Discount House a total of about 30 billion OCs. That was because Mr. Chikata, without the authority of the board then, and not simply because there was no authority, the board had actually asked him not to construct that loan because they didn't think it made any economic sense or that he had made a case for it. Mr. Chikata on the bland side of the board went and collected the $2 million from Consolidated Discount Camp. As to how the money was dispersed, nobody knew about it. In the end, GMPC was saddled with a 30
Are you suggesting some wrongdoing on Mr. Chikata's part in this?
Absolutely. This whole messy issue is the product of Mr. Chikata.
And it comes back to an issue that, again, it's curious on this $900,000 thing that had now been captured as something that's going to be investigated. You mentioned that somebody, Mr. Arthur also was a beneficiary. Which Mr. Arthur is this?
KB Mr. Arthur, who I had no idea, and I'm not sure, I have no idea who he was. I was informed that he should be given a specific sum of money. The list is there. The list was produced by GMPC.
You're watching News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. We're taking a quick break. We'll bring you more stories shortly. Thank you for staying with us here on News Today. Now, President John Dramani Mahama will today climax his nationwide Changing Lives tour in Ho, the Volta regional capital. He is expected to pay homage to the members of the Regional House of Chiefs, after which he would proceed to commission the permanent campus of the University of Health and Allied Sciences. He's also expected to join the launch of the GAP 1 million project at a rally on the Jubilee Park grounds. Volta regional correspondent Ivy Setoji joins us over the telephone lines now with more. So, Ivy, what more is the president expected to do in the region today?
Well, the president is expected to commission the permanent campus of UHAS, as he rightly stated, and also he announced that there is going to be he's going to commission the rehabilitated Adomi Bridge by the end of the year. He said the Adomi Bridge is a gateway to the Volta region, and that will enable people to commute easily from Accra to the Volta region. He also said that by next year, there is going to be a significant progress on Eastern Corridor Road, and other developmental works will follow. Now, after the commissioning, the president will have a rally, a big rally at the Nafa Park in Ho, where he will have the opportunity to talk to all the NDC faithful party members, executives, ministers, and MPs. So for the UHAS campus, president is moving straight to the rally grounds to talk to the people of the Volta region and the NDC faithful. So that is what is happening now.
So has the president already arrived? I need to add.
Yes, he has already arrived. First, he was at the Regional House of Chiefs to pay homage to the chiefs and queen mothers in the Volta region. And then he stayed there briefly for about an hour. And right now, he is about to commission the permanent campus of the University of
Health and Allied Sciences. Many thanks for that update, Ivy Setoji, our Volta regional correspondent, bringing us that particular update on the president's visit to the region. Now, the Member of Parliament for Mencia, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has cautioned former chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Paul Afoko, to tread cautiously as the latter seeks the court's intervention in his suspension. Now, speaking on the AM show earlier today, Dr. Opoku-Prempeh noted that the aftermath of whatever the outcome will be when Mr. Afoko goes to court will determine whether the impasse will be resolved. He explains further.
The system hasn't favored him. That is why the same constitution allows him to go to court. We will be happy, the party will be happy to settle the issue in court. But I always say that even when you go to court, taking your case first to court doesn't mean you will necessarily win. I took the government to court on GLPC. I didn't win.
And you've moved on.
I lost.
And you've
I'll
moved
move on. I just hope when they go to court, what the court says, people will move on.
It seems you are preempting as if you know the outcome of the court.
No, the two people are going to court. One will win, true of one rather. Yeah. One will win. I hope we move on. But if you are
the court will say go and settle later.
If you are thinking about post-court, you see, the court doesn't settle issues. It gives a decision. When you go to court, no matter the two sides, one will win, one will lose. So if both sides are thinking about settlement after a court, then we have to put into place certain characteristics how we behave whilst we are going to court. So because you have to think about post-court, you have to start thinking about pre-court.
The behavior.
Pre-court. Okay. That is all.
Now, the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping near the 37 military hospital is to be shut down. Joy News has gathered there are attempts to demolish the school and the land given out for the construction of shopping malls. Earlier, I spoke with the concerned staff of the school.
The school is earmarked for demolition.
Tell us much more about what you've been told about this exercise and reasons given for the exercise in the first place.
Okay, what I know is that when the land administration project was going to be started, that is in 2003, the plan was that all the other land sector agencies would be brought together and they would build a one-stop shop on this particular land where the service school is. And the service school had a land which was allocated for it behind the Nestle head office. But somehow we don't know how they changed the plan. But what happened, we just got wind of is that now, after bringing all the 4 land sector agencies together to form a new land commission, the management has changed the plan and they said they are going to build the land commission head office only on this land. And they are trading the rest of the land to the estate developer. They have contacted the big headquarters for them. So the land is about acres, and they are sharing it into 3, giving 2 parts to the estate developer, and then they are keeping 1 part. And the estate developer is going to use it for a shopping mall. They have not made provisions for relocating the school. And there are other offices on their premises, and it is actually the premises of the regional head, Greater Accra Regional Office of the Survey and Mapping Division. They have not made provision of moving this staff. The other units, the photogrammetry section, the instrumentation division, and also the geodetics reference network, all on this premises. And they have not made provision for moving it. But they are just going ahead to do all this. They want the estate developers to take possession of the land next week. So by the weekend, if we go, by the time we come, they do whatever they want.
So it is not that you are being sacked from the premises entirely, because what you say suggests that you are getting access to 1/3 of the piece of land over there. Is that the case?
Yes, but what they are keeping, they are not keeping it for the school or for the staff, but they say they are keeping it for the head of the land commission. So the building they are going to put up there will be the headquarters of the land commission, which is going to be occupied by the head.
The National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, is unhappy about the frequent headcount and inspection of certificates of staff of the Ghana Education Service by some institutions, including the Public Services Commission and the Bureau of National Investigation. Now, in January this year, the Controller and Accountant General's Department began a head count of all staff of GES. Now, the aim of the exercise was to address the issue of a bloated public sector payroll. But addressing the press this morning, the General Secretary of NAGRAT, Stanislaw Nabon, stated that the head count is negatively affecting their output. Let's speak to correspondent Kofi Mensah, who is following the story and joins us now with some more. Kofi, tell us much more about the concerns being raised by NAGRAT.
Hello?
Kofi, if you can hear me, I'm asking. I'm saying, tell us much more about the concerns being raised by NAGRAT.
Oh, as you rightly said, at the beginning of the year, the government instituted a process to count the number of teachers they have because of the issue of bloated public sector payroll. And as the process has been going on, NAGRAT is saying that there are various state institutions who are doing the head count. We have BNI doing the head count, we have the Ghana Educational Service doing the head count, we have the Public Service Commission also doing the same head count. And they said it's putting a stress on them. And I'm quoting a portion of the express statement. He said, quote, the exercises obfuscate teachers because they place them under avoidable stress and go on to affect performance. For instance, teachers are required to produce a litany of documents, some of which are just irrelevant to the exercise being conducted. They are further made to queue for hours on end to have their turns with their validators who spew out all manner of threat. So you're basically saying that just moving from their, place of work, the district, and coming back to the place of work is putting much stress on them, and therefore it's affecting their output. And so they are calling on government to only have one headcount exercise every year instead of the several times that the headcount is being conducted throughout the year.
Many thanks for that update, Kofi Ochimensa, that's a correspondent on the ground, joining us with much more on that particular story. Now, today is World Toilet Day. Now, on this day, the world turns its focus to access to this basic facility that has eluded many. The Joy News team visited one of Accra's arguably cleanest public toilets here in Accra, from where Mamavio Usobwaje reports.
Today is World Toilet Day, and I've come out of the comfort of the studio, the environment that I'm used to every morning at least, to Kole Wako is in the Ododo constituency, and I'm right in front of a public toilet. I want to find out why people come here each morning. Obviously, because most of them don't have the toilet facilities in their home. Even after all the advocacies, you would find later on this morning, when government is observing World Toilet Day, for instance, that different agencies, different groupings, you'll find civil society all gather trying to say that people who don't have toilet should own one in their homes. But it's not that easy. We talk, but what is reality is what you find here. I've got a lady here who've just finished using it. So what's your name?
Sabina.
Sabina, do you use this place every day?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me exactly what you've done, because I know that you can take your bath, you can also use the toilet. So which of the facilities did you use?
I used the toilet.
Okay, how much did you pay?
50 pesos for the toilet and 40 pesos for the graphic.
For the graphic, as in the paper that you used to? Okay, so you buy the paper and the...
I bought the toilet roll.
Toilet roll is how much?
50 pesos.
And then the graphic?
It's 40 pesos.
Okay. So how do you feel after using the place?
Oh, okay, I feel cool. It's very nice.
But don't you have a toilet where you live?
We have, but it's locked. That's why we always come here.
Why is it locked?
Okay, the key is with someone, and the person doesn't stay around our house, so it's like we have to come to the public toilet.
Okay. So, you know, when you are running, because usually you don't know what will happen to you. Anything can happen as we are standing here. When, you know, the pressure is really on and you want to do it so badly, what do you do? Do you run here all the time?
Yeah, sometimes I do run here.
Okay. So if you had one wish, I mean, because today is World Toilet Day, what would it be? To have a toilet that you can use at all times, or what?
Yeah, I would prefer to have a toilet so that I can use it all the time.
Okay. My name is Lauricia.
Lauricia?
Lauricia.
Lauricia. Okay. So do you come here every day?
Yes.
So what do you come and what do you went like this morning? You're going to school?
Yes.
But you had to come here to do what?
To come and go to toilet.
Okay. You don't have a toilet in your house?
No.
Okay. So you come here alone by yourself?
Yes.
How much do you pay?
20 pesos.
20 pesos. Okay. I've caught up with the manager of this facility to tell us some of his challenges, for instance. Mr. Santi, how many people would you say come here every day? I know the figures will be different, but ideally, how many people do you say would come here every day?
I can say 1,000, yeah. We call like 1,000 people plus visiting this place, because we have the male and the female and the bathhouse. So combined together, more than 1,000 people.
And then you have the children too.
Oh yeah, that's why I say more than 1,000.
So what are your challenges? What are the difficulties managing the place?
Our difficulties is, one of the difficult things is when increments come, you see the people be fighting with you here and there, but they have to agree with bear with us, because we buy chemicals, we pay workers, you see, we make sure the place look very neat, because if you go around this, let me say, I can say we have the best toilet so far. So sometimes they misbehave, unless sometimes we bring police in before they will agree with the fee.
How many people do you employ to take care of the place?
We have 4 cleaners, 7 workers, both male and female.
So do they run like a shift system?
Yes, you come. As for the cleaners, the 2 will start in the morning and 2 will continue from 2 to 10 p.m.
Are you running 24 hours? Because as for toilets, anything can happen.
Yeah. As for this place, we are running 24 hours. We have somebody who take over from 10 o'clock to dawn 4 o'clock. in the morning. Yeah.
So when the lights go off, how do you manage?
We have a standby generator.
Oh, you have a standby generator here.
So we have been using the generator.
Okay. All right. On World Toilet Day, what are your expectations?
For now, I think keeping the place neat will be the best, because when you are visiting the toilet and the place is not neat, I don't think you feel comfortable to visit that place again.
Thank you, and enjoy World Toilet Day. I don't know what that means, but enjoy it by all the same. Thank you so much for talking to us. Whatever you do is World Toilet Day. We do it in the morning, we do it in the evening. Sometimes it comes unexpectedly. Whichever way it comes, enjoy World Toilet Day.
That was Mama Vio Usoboje with that very interesting report, I might add. Time now for us to check out the very latest in the world of business right after this break. Ratings agency Fitch is warning that plans by government to reduce its rising expenditure to appreciable level might be difficult to achieve. Now, the warning was contained in a report issued by the agency on the 2016 budget.
According to Fitch, their major concern is that government is placing more emphasis on revenue than expenditure measures, which might prove very challenging if growth disappoints. The agency fears have been influenced by concerns that commercial production at the 10th field could also delay, as well as challenges in sticking to the 2016 budget spending targets because of next year's elections. On the budget deficit, Fitch is of the view that government might end 2016 at 6.2% rather than the 5.3%. The agency is even questioning the current deficit position for the 9-month ending, saying the situation has come about because of underpayment of social security contributions and grants to government units, which helped offset higher capital spending. Fitch argues that high domestic yields and a sharply weaker exchange rate have pushed up borrowing costs, with interest payments accounting for more than a third of government revenue, the highest level among Fitch-rated sub-Saharan sovereigns. The agency adds that the only way for it to review Ghana's negative rating and the negative outlook will depend on addressing underlying fiscal imbalances.
Some economists have renewed calls for the Bank of Ghana to review its inflation targeting approach to monetary policy. Now, the Monetary Policy Committee on Monday increased the policy rate to 26%, primarily to control the rise in inflation. Now, this is the second increase since June and the highest in several months. Executive Director of the Institute of Fiscal Studies, however, says the attempt by the central bank to control inflation by increasing the policy rate is counterproductive.
We should also put that into context. We are not running two governments in the country. There's only one government. All right, and the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance are institutions of government. So you cannot have one institution say that we are independent, and now the law say that we must keep price stability. So whatever that we will do to keep price stability, we will go ahead with it, regardless of the impact of that on what is, on the broader economy. Let's take the policy rate, for instance. All right, the policy rate has been raised now. Yesterday is going to, I think, 26%. All right. Okay. Now, since from 22% they raised it up to 20%, has it been able to bring down inflation? Inflation has been going up. Okay. Why? It's because once you raise the policy rate, okay, it feeds into the average lending rate of the banks. It influences the bank. Okay, and the average lending rate of a bank is a cost of credit. All right, so it increases cost of credit, which then feed into prices. So the more you continue to raise the policy rate, hoping that it will mob out liquidity in the system, on the other side, it's creating credit. Cost of credit go up, or even the credit will go down. And when credit goes down, domestic production, it affects investment, production goes down, so we have shortage of goods and the price will go up. So it is a cost element in the pricing. So I think that policy is totally counterproductive.
Economist Dr. Osesibe also insists it has become crucial for the central bank to revise its monetary policy approach to the benefit of the economy.
Because moving from a deficit of about 9% that was recorded last year to a deficit of 5.3% in next year is huge jump, you know, and that will mean a whole lot of adjustment, which can be very expensive to the economy. So I think that the Ghanaians have to really tighten their belt going forward in a next year. And businesses, there's also going to be some kind of liquidity constraint in the economy because it's projected that the monetary aggregate, that is the M2 plus, is actually going to contract. It will increase by just about 2% compared to about 50% that was recorded in the previous year. So all of that put together is really not going to be easy for many businesses.
The Millennium Development Authority, MIDA, has dismissed assertions that its decision to engage a private firm to manage ECG is likely to fail, like the Ghana Water Company's deal with the Aqua Vitens Rand. Now, the authority is advancing steps to secure a concession agreement with a private firm to manage the Electricity Company of Ghana. About 30 companies, including local and foreign ones, have so far expressed interest with the process expected to be finalized in the coming weeks. The chief executive of the authority, Engineer Olu Asafo, explains to Joy Business the agreements and that of Ghana Water Company are incomparable.
People keep on making reference to the water company arrangement, but I've said that the water company arrangement was a management contract. What we are talking about, under the compact is a concession. Now, there's a difference. Under the management contract, the private sector participant manages the business. They just manage the business, so they don't share in the risk of investment. But under a concession, the private sector partner not only manages the business, they also operate and they invest, and therefore their exposure in terms of risk is much higher. And because their exposure is higher, it is more likely that they will ensure that the business will thrive so that they can reap their due profits. So it's not the same as what we had under the Ghana Water Company arrangement.
Welcome to the sports, and in just some breaking news, we have gotten information that George Ifrie has been named the new Vice President of the Ghana Football Association. Now, this follows a meeting of the Executive Committee, and the President of the GFA, Kwesi Nyantakyi, named Ifrie as his assistant for a 4-year term in office. George Ifrie takes over from Fred Krentil. Now, this follows the first meeting of the newly formed Executive Committee to discuss the direction of Ghana football for the coming years. Ifrie is 45 years old, and he's been named as the GFA's President's Assistant in accordance with Article 30.3 of the first amendment of the GFA statutes passed by Congress on December 30, 2014, which states that at the maiden meeting of the Executive Committee, the President shall appoint from the membership of the Executive the Vice President of the FA and 3 other members who shall together with the President form the 5 members of what they call the Emergency Committee. So George Ifrie, Kwesi Nyantakyi, and 3 others will form the Emergency Committee. Now, the Vice President must have vast experience in football administration in Ghana, and he served in various leadership positions with several clubs in the country, including Swedro All Blacks, Accra Great Olympics, and Liberty Professionals. Now, he has also worked with the various national teams in leadership positions. And Ifrie, who is the current chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee, also served on various management committees of the national team. Don't forget that he served as the management committee chairman for the Black Meteors recently, and also the Black Satellites, as well as working on the Premier League board and the Division 1 League board. He's a current member of the CAF Marketing and TV Rights Committee. Meanwhile, Edidoku, Nana Benjamin Eisen, and Kwekwe Iya have also been named to serve on the Emergency Committee. They will join Kwesi Nyantakyi and George Ifrie to serve on the 5-man body. So that's it for the breaking news. Moving over to more stories, and fans of Accra Hearts of Oak are divided over the assessment of new coach Kenichi Yachuachi's output so far with the team after they watched the team play for the first time under the Japanese American. Hearts have intensified their preseason with 2 friendly games, winning 2-0 against Prestige FC and drawing 1-1 with Legon FC. Most fans were skeptical about Kenichi's appointment, and after barely a month in charge, Joy Sports has been finding out from the fans what they think about their new boss.
It's just a training match. I didn't see any tactical play in it. In fact, seriously speaking, if this is what Accra folk have, then I think there's a problem. There's a problem because Accra folk is not just a small team like that. Because I wanted to see something special, you know, but I didn't see anything special.
I saw some 3 players. They are very, very good. And they are very, very good. The only 3 players, the new players, the 3 players I saw them, they are very, very good.
So we played with them. They should bring players of high quality. At least if 2 or 3 to come and join what we have here. I think we can compete for trophies next season. So in short, they should do their work. We'll also come and watch.
We need a total teamwork from board, management, technical, players and supporters. Without that, we cannot go anywhere.
That'll be it for News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. My name is Kwabena Chenchen Henebwati. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Enjoy the rest of our bulletins.